Good afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock on Thursday the 2nd of January and this is Chris Jessop with Steve Morale's help. We said we'd get some images of the visible remains. We're down here on Musselwick Sands and these are the remains which aren't always visible. In fact, they've been hidden for many months, so we thought we'd grab the opportunity. So the first thing we're looking at here is a deck windlass. And you can see here, I'm looking down, these are the two sheaves which are designed for taking the anchor chain. I think these are the two band brake drums which the band brake would have been round. Clearly this is the main operating gear. There's the gear it would have engaged with, and obviously on this shaft here we've also got two pulleys for taking rope. Obviously it's very badly bashed around by the sea. Cast iron frame, and we were just thinking that possibly it's this whole business about we don't know whether the remains are from the Englishman or from a Norwegian auxiliary schooner called the Nidelv, and possibly some of these details Julian can use to identify whether this was made by an English foundry or a Norwegian one. So anyway, first item, as I say, the deck windlass. A close-up view now of the same deck windlass. You can see a bit more detail. Here's the cast iron framing. You can see very clearly how this small cog here engages with the main wheel. I think these are dogs for this drum to be actually clutched, or this pulley here to be clutched onto this main wheel. As I say, you can see here the recesses which are for the chain links to go through, and I'm pretty sure this is the braking drum for which the band brake would have worked on. And then you've got, can't see it, but I'll just show you, we've got the same arrangement the other side here. We've got a dog arrangement, and again we've got a pulley with recesses to take the chain links. Another band brake drum, I think, and you can see very clearly these are the standard smooth pulleys which you just work by putting a rope around and then tensioning when you want to actually haul in on the rope. And I think the lower shaft is actually the manual drive shaft. In other words, there would have been crank handles at each end of that shaft. No idea whether there was any power supplied to this. I'm guessing that it was actually a hand operated windlass. Anyway, hopefully having another view gives you, Julian, a better idea about the thing. And obviously we've got the stripy pole there to give you an idea of the size in general terms. Okay. Right, and we're rolling. Now this other remnant, which I'm pretty sure is cast iron, this shows up even less often than the deck windlass. I'm pretty sure it's the engine block from either the Englishman or the Nidelv. Now my problem is I don't even know if the Englishman had an engine. She was built in 1867 as a sailing ship, but she had a very long time in service, so it's quite possible that she was retrofitted with a diesel or a paraffin auxiliary engine, because a lot of sailing ships were. It meant that they could get into and out of small harbours under their own power without calling in a tug, which got more expensive as time went on. Now the trouble is, because this casting is so badly damaged and smashed around by the sea, you can't tell from looking at it whether this is the remains of a steam engine or an internal combustion engine. All I can see here is that you've got a flat face, and it's just a thought that that is possibly the face that a slide valve would have run along, but as I say, it's so badly mauled around that I might not even be right, it might not even be an engine, but just out of interest, I do have on the, there we go, and that's a 180mm bore, and so is that, if that tells us anything. Okay, we've got some other bits to show you in this vicinity, but we'll take a more general position on the camera to do those. Okay, are you rolling? Right, okay, rolling. Okay, well, what we thought we'd do now is to just take a little bit of footage. There's actually quite a lot of concretion visible this afternoon. So here we've got concretion, and I can see an iron bar, possibly a bolt with a flange end there. There's more iron concretion here. There's a large iron block here, and again this is all concretion running up around the what we're calling the engine block and up to here. What we'll do now is we'll stop this video clip and then we'll do another video shot, because there's further concretion around this area. And I'm rolling. Okay, we've got more remains here, so what we're just going to do is Steve's going to do a handheld shot and I'm just going to gradually talk through what you can see. So we've got an iron casting here which goes under there somewhere. Then coming across here, there's the engine block, as we're calling it. So we've got heavy iron remains all concreted in here, and you can see that there are handmade, old-fashioned iron ship's nails in all of that lot. We're coming across here, something circular, some very large iron nails or rivets. That's definitely a nail, you can see the head on it there. There's more concretion here. We've got an iron rod here, remains of a casting here, another bit of casting here, and then we've got, you can see there's other stuff concreted in here because you can see the staining, the red staining. And then we've got this loop of chain here and other iron remnants all concreted. There's iron bar there and there, more iron here, and iron here. So that's within this area is, and there's more iron showing in the water running through here. So this is actually more concretion than has been visible for actually many years as far as I'm concerned. So there we are. We'll next move on to the iron item over there, and then we'll show you the hawse pipes. And I'm rolling here. Okay, so again, these two items are concreted together, and they've always been concreted together that I can remember. So you've got a heavy, I presume it's cast iron here, and this oak board, and it does look as if possibly the one was designed to lay across the other, that possibly the oak was some kind of, possibly, I don't know, a rubbing strip backed up by this iron board. But anyway, that they've always been, in my memory, like this, and you can see that the concretion around here. So that's that item. Nothing more visible in terms of concretion from this viewpoint. So we'll now move across and look at the hawse pipe. And I'm recording. Okay, so this is one of the partial remains of one of the hawse pipes. Bad English, but you know what I mean. You can see, I'm pretty sure that this is the top end of the hawse pipe, because if you look, you can see the erosion caused by the chain running down it as it goes down through the bow and then out to the anchor. When I first moved to Marloes back in 2000, both of these hawse pipes were still complete castings. So as I remember them, they were both about 8 feet long, but you can see that this one has smashed in two, and Steve and I can't see the other part. Sometimes the other part of the tube is visible, but there's no sign of it today. So you can just make out there, I think, and if you look at that discoloration and change there, and there's a little notch there, I think those are the main, possibly there as well, I think these are the actual fixing rivets where the rivets would have been driven through into very heavy timbers, because obviously this is a major point of load concentration in the ship's construction. Okay. Okay, and we're rolling. Right, we've now moved south from the very head of the beach, and you can see that we're actually underneath what used to be known as the Welsh Way. And here's the second hawse pipe, which is much more complete. You can see what I was saying about the other one originally used to be a lot longer. But you've got the same flanging effect, and in fact by looking down the edge here you can see a very distinctive wear pattern where the chain would have been running over there. So again, that convinces me that this is the deck end, and that this is going down to protrude through the bow. Anyway, obviously it's suffered serious damage, but this hawse pipe, to my memory, my knowledge, doesn't move very much. This part of the beach is pretty much where it's always found, and this is the piece which is fairly regularly reported to the police or the Coast Guard as a bomb or a mine or some other piece of ordnance. Anyway, that's the last of our remnants from our quick visit to Musselwick Sands on the 2nd of January 2025.